Like, I know people are like, aren't you worried about going back to New York City and calling a game? No. I've owned this city. I've owned this building. So why would I be worried about walking on out there? All right? I go out to shake John Starks' hand, and he wouldn't even shake my hand. So I'm like, what's up with that? I had no problems with John before that, so I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. And from that point on, I made it a mission. I'm going to embarrass this kid.
Reggie Miller is a great basketball player, but if you stop and think, he's been the only player that ever got Michael Jordan ejected. So there ain't a better talker around than Reggie Miller if he can take the best player and most disciplined player in the league and get him upset.
Reggie Miller and John Starks had one of the best rivalries in NBA history, a feud that Knicks fans will never forget.
I think they said fuck you.
Josh Hart.
In 33 games against each other, John Starks averaged 15 points and 4 assists, and Reggie averaged 21 points and 3 assists. But with them, it wasn't about the stats. The antics, the trash talk, the physicality made those battles legendary.
John's a fierce competitor, and I give him credit for that, but so much was made of New York's mental toughness, and I wanted to test that.
And I want people to understand this. I love me some John Starks. We'll run through a wall and we'll do whatever it takes to win. I love dudes like that. Starks could be triggered. And I knew that.
I knew that.
And I would play not only on his emotions, but I knew if I talked to Oak and Patrick in earshot of him, like I'm talking to Patrick Ewing during the game about Starks, it would trigger him because he couldn't control his emotions, because he was just, you know, he came almost from nothing. You know, he was bagging groceries, they found him, you know, and now he's playing in the #1 media market, on the #1 stage in MSG, so he would do whatever to stay there.
And John Starks going at it, talking it up right throughout, picking up their little intramural verbal battle.
So you have to do a little homework on your opponent. So that's how I used it. And a lot of times I would talk shit to get myself going too.
Yeah.
Starks and Miller coming off the baseline, getting all tangled up. Nothing unusual there. But now Reggie Miller getting his arms up and under John Starks, and then Starks trying to disengage himself.
Durham throwing him out.
Oh yeah, left elbow right into the face of Reggie Miller.
Just, you know, I'm talking to him, you know, in a polite way, and we just got close, and I just, bam, something just came up and tapped him like that. And he dramatic Hollywood. Oh, you get like.
Truth, I really don't talk trash. I think that incident was more because, you know, John was running out and I was hitting threes on him.
Looks like Hulk Hogan headbutt, only 150 pounds lighter. But Reggie's a great trash talker. Some people call it arrogant. Reggie calls it confidence. He's very confident in his abilities to play the game, and he'll take anybody out of the game if they listen to him. Reggie loves people to answer back to him, and if they do, they're in trouble, like Starks did.
He was talking in game 3, you know, but that didn't bother me at all. It's just, you know, when somebody starts take cheap shots on you, then, you know, you can only take so much.
What'd your teammates tell you at the court when you walked off?
They told me it was a bad move on my part, which it was, and I accept the blame.
I don't think I did anything to John to make him mad. I think something happened earlier in the day. Maybe room service was late or something like that. But I don't think it was what, between him and I don't think that's what made him upset. But, you know, it's more to motivate myself. You know, I'm a very self-motivating guy, and it gets myself pumped up. It is not to degrade anyone. I go out there to have fun, and to get the crowd into it, and I think he took it kind of personal.